fast, all tied up like a captive. I'm on to you. Used to pay to my mom life, standing on rainbows, playing it cool. I haven't felt this in ages, and I've no more patience. So won't you please stay up in line? You're making me stronger, making me stronger. Stay up in line. captive. I'm onto you. Used to pay to my love life, standing on rainbows, playing it cool. I haven't felt this in ages, and I've no patience. So won't you please stay up in line? You're making me stronger, making me stronger. Stay up in line. You're making me stronger, making me stronger. You need stronger.
Bonjour or bienvenue, as we like to say. How's it going? Welcome along to a brand new season where 20 hopefuls will apply their craft in an attempt to become number one in the elite division. The track used to be home to the Renault team, but now I guess it's just home to the FIA. The circuit consists of 5.4 kilometres, 15 turns and 2 massive DRS zones that provide plenty of overtaking opportunity. Time to get underway with the first round of the season. Let's take you to your commentary team, Salty and Bailey.
Hello everyone and welcome to the first round of Elite. It is Salty and I'm joined by my mate Bailey. Hello, you're looking forward to the race? Yeah, I'm hoping for that too. Sorry for the music. I forgot to turn off my F1 music, so it's EA's backing track. So you'll have that until the race starts. Apparently I can't hear you, Bailey, so let me just have a quick check to see if I am running the right settings. Can you speak for me real quick? Should be able to hear him. Game. Technical difficulties. I love that when that happens. So bear with me just a minute while I sort that out. Can you hear the menu? That might be a It looks like I may have an audio bug, but
Never
yes,
good.
they can hear the menus. So they should be able to hear you, hopefully. Let's see. Good. That would work. Okay, they can hear it, but I can't hear any game or... Oh, there we go. We're back.
Fixed. All fixed.
New season blues. That's what it is. I've been given a new streaming package for the new season, and was setting it up before. Thought I had everything ready, and clearly didn't. But didn't miss any action. Got straight into it. Got the cars out. According to, I believe it was Weru in the chat, saying that we're going to have a wet race. So we've got that to look forward to as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's going to be interesting.
I will
Seeing
say,
what's-
just to kick things off, get the talker moving, blood flowing. Who do you think's going to win?
The
Start
race
the curses.
or the entire thing?
The race, just the race.
Ooh.
Start the
I
cast
don't know.
curse early.
There's. I feel like the favorite at the moment would be the reigning champion Zakov, but you never know. There could be some upsets. Crush has a chance. You never know. Up and coming Spliff, Lemon, maybe even Apex. Maybe they all have a chance at this. Some new boys from Division 2 coming up.
That includes Lemon, the
Yeah.
fan favorite. He is coming up after winning the Prodigy division. So that will put a lot of pressure on him, but he is paired up with CJM, who was runner-up last year. Did very well last year to get runner-up with Zakov and Val also in the mix. So another definitely interesting, I would say, rivalry to look out for would be Ferrari and Alpine. Ferrari last season was actually the Williams, but they've paired up again, and the Alpines were the Alpine, I believe, and they've
Yep.
paired up again. And the difference between second and third in the constructors was 1 point. And thanks to the two Red Bulls, which was Zakov and I believe Impulse, they have split up from last season, leaving Ferrari and Alpine second and third, the only ones left standing in the duo in that top three. So I'm interested to see how that fight will go, as we see Dutchy, after taking a leave of absence for one season, takes pole, because nobody else has set a time. We'll go on board with Deku for a flying lap. Who do you think's taking pole? Because you know who you think's going to win, Bailey, but who do you reckon's going to take pole?
Oh, it's got to be. I feel like it's at this point. It's obviously, for me at least, it's got to be Impulse as he validates his lap there. But I think Impulse has a big chance at pole here.
Just as Zakov, your race winner prediction, goes pole with a 132. Now, do you think we'll have any casualties, any DNFs? France isn't, if they keep it clean, France isn't the most DNF heavy track, but we've seen from the previous races this week, including a flying car, hasn't always been the case.
Yeah, well, it's not the best for DNFs, but you can see a lot of spins here, a lot of low traction zones around this track coming out of some very fast turns, so I would expect some spins, maybe not as many crashes, but some spins as even on lap 1 as we saw the last couple of days. Actually, turn 1 is a very risky zone. Lap 1. There'll be a lot of trouble coming through there if you're not
Quite
too
a
careful.
sharp left-right. Not leaving
Yeah.
a lot of room, especially with 3 wide off the start, as you sometimes get.
Yeah, and it's also very risky with the elevation changes going on there. You gotta be careful not
Just seeing a
underestimate
few
it.
yellow flags though, but most of them are just letting other drivers pass, which is good etiquette.
Yeah, that's what you have to do in quali, because you get in trouble really if you don't. So,
We even, the FIA upped the penalty for blocking someone's lap this season from 1 penalty point to 2.
yeah, well, I feel like it's a lot more serious than some people would say. Blocking someone's quali lap, they're on a flyer and you just block them off, you could be stopping them a chance of getting pole, which pole position is, of course, very valuable in terms of the race. You get a good getaway from pole position, you're on. So I feel like that's a good choice from the FIA to up that penalty.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to disagree. There was a few times I lost a lap due to blocking. It's very frustrating, and it does ruin your start of your race, and sometimes ruins your entire race, especially if you can't get a decent lap and you start from the back.
Yeah, because there's some people who might wait a bit to go for their flying lap, and if that gets blocked, and they don't get another chance to go around, or even if they hit someone trying to block them and they're out of the entire, well, not trying to block them, but if someone accidentally blocks them and they hit them, you could be out of the entire quali session, and then that just stuffs you up for the race, really.
Yep. Though there is a few changes from last season to this season, thanks to the official Formula 1 rules. One of them being that you can select whatever tyre you want on the start. You don't have to, for the top 10, you don't have to start on the tyres that you qualified with. But that does mean we won't see any medium tyres in qualifying. I don't think we'll ever see that ever again for the rest of the season. Though I think I've seen intermediates in one race. I did see someone go intermediates on the dry, so...
That'll happen. But yeah, there's no option for the mediums anymore in qualifying. So we'll probably see a lot more lap set than usual, and seeing as they'll probably use all of their soft tyres, maybe leave 1 or 2 for the race. But around here, you can... It's very risky, but you could probably try and stretch a soft medium strap. I'm not sure how much it would work. Medium hard would probably be the recommended strategy around here today.
In Div 3, I know the McLarens went a soft-medium strategy off the restart after we had an issue with a car teleporting from the pit lane to the straight and someone ramming into the back of them. So it is definitely valid track because they managed to make it last, and with these elite drivers, they're a lot more adept at keeping those tyres within a certain range. So it definitely is possible.
Yeah, of course. No diss to anyone else, but they're a lot more skilled than everyone else. That's why they are the elite division, and yeah, they'll be a lot better at managing their tyres, so they might be able to keep it to the end.
I mean, we have a question from Jack Does Dev in the chat. Why do these guys have Australian accents? And I will say, I'm a little bit offended, being from New Zealand. I wouldn't say I have an Australian accent. But being Australia and New Zealand league will do that for you.
I mean, I feel like it's a bit of a no-brainer, to be honest. If you look at the name, and you see in big words Aussie, and you'd think, I feel like you'd expect some Australian accents from that.
We do have some non-Australians and non-Kiwis in the commentating team.
Yeah, of course, but yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say HK has a very Australian accent. It's very deep.
Yeah, well, he's done this for a while. He's the pro.
He is the pro. We've also got Max Formal as I believe he is casting next week, who is also a professional caster in Rocket League. So I'll look forward to that one too.
Big names coming onto the stream team.
Yeah, definitely will outshine us, but it's all about learning and improving and having fun.
Yeah, of course.
Well, at the moment, we have Impulse, as you said, you predicted it, currently leading, but not by much.
I reckon it's going to be very close between these two this season. Impulse and Zakov, former teammates.
Oh, as Apex spins after we start viewing him, which is a little bit of a curse.
Ouch.
It does happen from time to time. We'll go on board with Zakov as he sets a flying lap. He can show us how it's done. Can he beat? Oh, as he invalidates. I mean, we are getting a bit of a caster curse here, back to back, with an invalidation and a spin. So maybe we might be able to see a clean lap from Zay, who's one of the Alpines who I said we need to look out for. Because it's not necessarily in this division about winning every race if you want to go for the constructors. For the constructors. About being consistent with both teammates.
Yeah, of course. I mean, Alpine's looking pretty strong right now, 3rd and 4th, although we have four drivers who haven't set laps yet. The Alpines are looking strong here. They could show a lot of pace during this race by their quali times right now, setting bankers of close to the 29s as Gares, speak of the devil, spins around turn 1.
That's
there it
not
is
what
again.
you want.
But yeah, a lot of pace being shown from the right now. Maybe could be the favourites right now for the constructors. Very early doors, but you never know.
Very early doors, but they can get a decent lead off the first 3 races. then that's already roughly a quarter of the season done. So you're almost, well, you're 75% of the way there. But I think the first few races will be pivotal for these drivers so they can get the momentum going into the later weeks. It's all about being confident, not getting stuck at the back.
Yeah, of course. With this, very different. The cars this year, this season, new game, new cars. It's going to be very different. Some have learnt to adapt already, some may not have. So it's just, I guess, a case of seeing
Seeing how they
who
can
can do
adapt.
what with the new cars. And because some people will change, some people get faster, some people get slower.
It's very true. Let's go on board with Impulse, our current pole sitter. See what he can do, because he does seem like he's on an absolute belter of a lap. Well, I will save Jack Does Devon Chat, who said, is New Zealand a place in Australia? It is not. It is a separate country, but these guys in chat are Australian and would like me to be Australian, but do not listen to them. I would advise you to take the opposite of whatever they say.
Of course. Impulse here, 4/10 up on his time, looking to be the first person to break into the 129s.
It'll be good for him to do that because he will be able to come into the pits and get another lap under his belt. So he's timing this quite well.
Yeah, of course, that's a big part of quality time in your lap, seeing if you can stretch it to get that one last lap in right at the end. But yeah, as I think we've just seen a crash from Deku, his game is closed, so hopefully he'll be back in time to set another lap, even though I'm not sure he might need to, as yep.
Or that is a monster lap and he's wiggling the tyres and a little bit of a celebration by the looks of it.
That's a great lap, 8/10 up on his time there, that's something else for Impulse there.
So have a quick look at CJM, who might be coming on an in lap. Or he's going for it, one of the two, but it does look like, yeah, no, it will be a, no? He's going for it. Low amount of ERS, so I don't think he will be able to make a full lap on that set. He is starting to hit low fuel too.
Yeah, track starting to rubber up, grip starting to get on the track, some fast laps will be coming in now. It's just a matter of seeing if Zakov and the top 5, other than Impulse, will come back out and try and improve on those laps. I'm sure they will, as we see one of the Alpines leaving the pits now.
Trying to find a wire here, but it does seem like everyone's coming for a reset. A little bit of a downtime for us here, which is arguably, as we've said, the most difficult part of commentating. Finding that space to fill the void.
Yeah, of course. Okay, I was going to say Kebab's on a lap, but he's just cut off the track, so I'd assume not. As I'm pretty sure Crush is on a lap here. Blitzing it down the back straight, let's see what he can do.
Have a look, which place is Crush in? He's in 8th. Not sure. Do you think we have Apex on a lap? You see, watch, no, Crush isn't on a lap.
No,
Isn't on a
Crush
lap.
isn't on
He's
down.
gonna call down for another one, but it looks like Lemon's on a lap. The fan favourite by a long shot. Let's ride with him. The people in chat, as he almost loses it. Wouldn't say almost, he held it to quite well. But he is up by 3.5 tenths. So he does need to improve by quite a bit to get out of that bottom time. You know, Apex, Caddy and Val. Especially Val. Has a lot to go. A lot in the tank.
Yeah, of course, Val, fast man, can do fast things, and yeah. I only just learnt recently Val is a right foot braker, so...
I learnt that too. He uses both feet.
No, one
no,
foot.
1 foot. No, you're right. Yeah, he uses 1 foot, but he's also stands on his tippy toes pretty much when he hits the pedal. It's an interesting way of doing it, but he's 10 times better than me, and he gets into like the top 10 on the leaderboards in the world, so I'm not going to question it.
Yeah, it works for him, so I guess just keep doing what works.
No, we can't really judge him if he just is beating us by a literal mile.
So I believe we've just I'm not sure what's happening with the Alpines here. Going back and
Lemon
forth on the
doesn't
back
really
straight.
improve enough. See if Zakov is on a flyer lap. He is. Let's follow him. He did invalidate his last one, so hopefully he won't repeat that same mistake, but that does mean he probably has quite a bit in the tank to give.
Very easy to invalidate around here. You can mistime your turn in, and that's the end of your lap.
Yeah. There's quite a few spots where if you're not concentrating enough, you might end up invalidating your lap, which is not good.
No,
I
it's
know what that
never
felt
good.
like in my race in Div 3. Got slightly blocked in one lap and then invalidated another, and it ended up being near the back of the grid, which wasn't a bad thing because I've switched to no TC. There's also why watching this elite race and casting it's very good for me, because I can actually see how they drive and how they do it.
Yeah, of course.
Because I'm very jealous. I wish I had this amount of talent, at least on my pinky finger. Just to hit the trigger at the right time. Upshift. You see, I believe that was a Haas getting out the way.
I believe it was, yes. This could be a good lap here from Zakov. Let's see what he can do with it.
Needs to beat a 129.35.
Might do it. No.
He cannot get close.
Impulse.
A mega lap from Impulse. Let's have a
Flying
look.
at
Let's
this
go
one,
on
yeah.
to Gears, who's on the back straight. Follow him along. He's getting maybe a slight tow by a teammate, but I don't think he's really within that point.
And I believe they're both on flyers
Oh,
here,
and
so
he's invalidated and he's spun, so he's not gonna be improving his time.
yeah, he's still
There's a
good,
few
though.
drivers that were still on an outlap that CGM just managed to cross the line, but Crush did not. The Williams. We have one driver crossing the line. And look, they improved their time. The next person to cross the line will be Zay. Can he beat his teammate? Can he challenge Zakov or even Impulse?
Not sure he can here. I think Zay may be settling for fourth or a little less here, depending on what the other drivers can do. I'm not sure he improves there. No, he doesn't.
No, he does not. He did have a purple last sector though. Deku has invalidated. We have another person coming around the track who's going into the pits. We have a Haas, which might be Impulse, who's going into the pits. We have a Red Bull, which is not Zakov, which might be Spliff. It's not. That's not a Red Bull. It's the Colours of Confusion. That may be Ekim coming across the line, but they've come into the pits. We have a... it's very confusing, all this. We have... looks like Crush on a... nope, invalidated. I think I knew that one.
I think that's everyone about done. Kebab's about to finish this lap. Not sure what he can do with it. But yeah.
Adrian did not get a good last corner. Looks
Kebab
like
doesn't
that is
improve.
it.
CGM
Yep.
doesn't either.
That is it. So your running order will be Impulse, Zakov, Gears, Zay, Dutchy, Val, Ikim, CGM, Spliff, Crush, Deku, Apex. Oh my god, I'm getting this so wrong. Dalek. I maybe got that right. Kebab, JJ, Lemon, Kato, and Frozzle. Though you were right on Impulse, getting pole position.
Yeah, I feel like it's
So
a
if-
no-brainer.
If Zakov wins, you've already got the correct position right at the start.
Yeah, get me on the predictions. Get me on the punt.
Get him in.
But yeah, strong showing from the Alpines here, showing that they still have it from last season.
Alpines are definitely looking strong. Impulse getting your fastest lap. I do believe we are missing 2 drivers this race, and if my memory serves me correct, it may or may not, so forgive me if I'm wrong in here. We are missing PTR and JKO, but I believe we are also missing Aziko in replace of Dalek. I might be wrong there in my notes because I'm going over my notes, but I believe those are the drivers we're missing, which means that, as I said, the fight between Ferrari and Alpine, Ferrari will also take a hit this race because JKO is not here.
Ooh.
And here's the wet race we mentioned, which, as we're talking about turn 1, I don't think we've had a wet turn 1.
No,
so far.
not even intermediates. We've got the full wets out.
Oh, this is going to be a little bit chaotic. It's going to be an interesting one to see if I can catch all the action on the my old keyboard. But I will try my best.
Track feels like ice most of the time without rain. Let's see how they go with it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's a few invalidations, but they do push. But there's been every single race so far, there's been a decent chunk of penalties. So will the same happen to Elite? We don't know. Because they are the Elite for a reason.
Yeah, the teams have got their front wings ready out. Probably a couple of those getting changed turn 1 today.
Yeah, it might be a bit chaotic.
Let's just hope no one goes in and doesn't change them, or there might be a bit of chaos in our hands.
Maybe just a bit. We do have a formation lap, so anyone who does not know, every division started at last season will have a formation lap, and also compounds because now that drivers in this game can actually choose how they set up on their grid slot. So they can now angle the car as impulse goes directly off the track at the very start. Which, not sure on that one. Not sure why that happened. But I will not judge it because it is the formation lap. Thanks to Wearable in the chat for giving us the race rundown. It'll be 6 to 8 laps for full wets, 6 to 8 laps for inter, and the rest will be dry.
Strategy might be interesting here. You'll see maybe some people trying to stretch the wets out the full run of it.
Yeah, most definitely. But it does mean that we'll be getting a decent chunk of pit stops to mix up the race even more. So strap yourselves in because we're in for a either one full of carnage or one full of great racing. Or both.
Yeah, of course, with the pit stops now as well, drivers can mess them up with the turn-in, so that could be a problem here today. Maybe we see some pit stop errors.
We also know that France has a bug on the pit stop, where some people do get random... I mean, the pit stop strategy is saying wet to wet, so I'm not sure if that is true or not. But we do know there's a bug on the French pit stop lane that sometimes give them a track limit warning, even though if they buy by the track limits. So we may, with 3 pit stops, potentially for some of them, we may see undeserved penalties. So that just means at the end of the race you have to fight, no matter the penalties.
Yeah, of course, the FAA might come into play with that one at the end, but...
A little bit unfortunate.
Fight like they have a penalty, and then we'll see what they can do as we see Impulse
more
now
action for us.
Line himself up. Yeah, of course. Impulse going to be the first to line himself on the grid. Zakov behind. And the 2 Alpines there as well. Dutchy coming in now as well. Dutchy very fast into his box there. So I believe we haven't seen any resets yet. Oh, there's a...
Oh, they're disqualified. That's what happens when you go too far.
Crush.
He's also in a little bit of a Tokyo drift up to the line.
Yeah, of course, what you have to do to try and hit those rears up before the start of the race as we see everyone come in now. Can they get it right?
They're lined up. We're getting to 5 lights. Not yet. A little bit of lag. Jump the gun.
A little bit of delay here.
Just a bit. Hopefully we don't have a problem with the lobby. Oh, we're migrating hosts. The host has disconnected. I'm not sure what's happening. Oh. Don't know if this is a... Oh no, Apex
it was a host
disconnected
issue
from the session. 5 red lights. And they are off. Impulse gets a decent start, followed by Zakov, but we've got gears up on the inside of Zakov, and they're being absolutely 4 wide into the back there. There might be some carnage coming to turn 1, but it looks like pretty clean except for the very back, where they're mostly going 3 wide at the back. We do have Apex dropping off, which will be due to the AI, but Apex has joined back, but he has lost a decent chunk of places off the start. It's a bit unfortunate for him. Crush seems to may have had an issue where he's dropping down. So far, the top 5 seem to be pretty much within order.
Yeah, Zay's fallen down 2 positions, started 4th, dropped all the way down to 6th now. Ekim and Dutchy both getting the jump on him as Gares keeps his position.
Seems like that might have been the longest lights. As Impulse goes off early on, and someone else goes off, almost killing him. Spliff goes absolutely mental into the wall. That will call a safety, or VSC, we'll know in a minute. I'm not sure what happened there. That was a very interesting one.
Big impact on the wall. Deku out as well.
Is also out of the race. Not sure what happened there. Maybe we might be able to see it from... Oh, he's in the middle of the track.
Not sure what's happened there.
It's a VSC, and Zakov's got a drive-through penalty. We've got some... some interesting starts here. The 2 front runners, both have been impacted. Spliff and Deku are out of the race. We've got a VSC, doesn't look like it was a full safety, according to that penalty.
He said it wasn't a very DNF-worthy chap, but we've already seen 2 here.
Well, the rain changes a lot of factors. I am eating my words. We got Dalek with maybe a broken front wing, because he is quite slow at the back.
I believe the VSC is in and we're racing again.
Yep.
Zakov
with the time penalty, but a very good pull away, but he will have to serve that time penalty. Let's go on gears for a minute, as there is a bit of a pack fighting back then. Have a look at the rest of them as they come through turn 1.
Dalek falling a bit behind there, having to dodge Deku's car in the middle of the road there, cost him some time. As we see the McLaren with CJM going pretty wide into turn 1, not sure what happened there.
Switch the camera type here and right alongside with Zakov. See how he handles the wet weather as he comes in. It's actually got an Ekim who's catching up on gears. Zakov has pulled away just a bit, but it's not really going to help him in the end because he does have to serve that drive-through. Don't know if he'll delay it or not though.
He's got 3 laps to serve it, so I doubt he's going to get too big of a gap before he has to, but you never know.
There's a lot of pits as well. Pit stops he's going to have to make if our information is true.
Someone's had a lock up. CJM again going through the runoff into the chicane there, having to go through all the brake boards.
It's unfortunate. The wet weather is definitely causing a little bit of chaos at the start.
I believe Dalek's going around.
As Ekim goes off the track. It brings Dutchy back in within fighting distance. I'll tell you one thing, I would not want to be these guys. I know I would not have survived this race if this happened to me.
Yeah, of course, especially with the big pack we've got here. Very dangerous. Someone's gone. Remember, ghosting is off, of course, so someone's gone, and a couple of the people behind him are gone as we see the fastest lap from a pushing Impulse here as
CJM is out of the race. He's retired. Maybe some technical issues because he did go straight forward, and that's uncharacteristic of him. So technical issues would explain that.
Never the best after retire.
Oh, CJ apparently had no rear wing. So you can't place the rear wing into the pits, and that would affect your entire race, especially in a ret one. And the rules were changed from last season. Darkly fights up the inside, and Ekim goes straight on. Gets a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting.
He's out.
He is out, which might have been instant disqualification. Or did he go into the wall? He's hit Zakov. Oh, it's an interesting one for the FIA.
What's happened there?
I'm not sure. And this is
Oh, maybe.
absolutely chaos due to the Delta.
Oh,
Oh my
I
god.
think there's a server reset.
There might be. I'm not sure what is happening.
I think they're notified of a lobby restart, and Eckham's just gone straight into Zakov.
Yeah, it might be that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
do.
that's the case.
Yeah, I think we've got a lobby restart on our hands.
Not sure where that's for. Maybe a couple of the.
Yeah, that will explain it. We can see what antics these guys will do. It's just for our entertainment.
Of course. We have a virtual red flag here.
Will be switch to the interview. Only one. Nope. I lie. I will go to the race because it's the only one I have the audio set up on. That'll work. Give me a moment. We will be doing a little bit of a lobby restart, but you can listen to the smooth music EA have wonderfully provided us.
You might not want to do that. Stream got muted for that last time.
Sure. Send us to the start screen and we'll be back once the lobby has restarted.
I'm just gonna quickly run off. I'll be like 2
That's
seconds, so I'll be back before it starts again.
Alright, well, hello everyone. Welcome back. Bailey, as you heard, has left us just for a short while we get this reset underway. But I thought I'd come and chat and explain a few things. So for the people that don't know, if we have a bug, as sometimes we do get beautifully provided by Codemasters, which is out of our control, we do have a few set of rules that will define how we do a race restart. So let me just quickly get them up because I do not have them in my notes, unfortunately. But luckily, thanks to our head admin, Basing, he wonderfully does the rules for us and makes it quite easy to find. So if you ever do want to join the league, make sure you read the rule book. It's under the rules channel. And I do believe that you can join by doing !join. Just make sure you're from OCE, and at the moment it is PC only, and that is Steam PC. Because at the moment there is no crossplay with Origin. I believe, from what I have heard, is because the development team for Crossplay is from Ukraine. So that has been delayed until after the game release and a future update. But we will have to wait for that. But hopefully we'll be able to get other people from different platforms racing in the same league as everyone else. I think it would make an interesting dynamic. So I look through the rulebook here. So, if due to online servers making it criminally tough to race due to several issues, if the race is completed less than 20%, which is what happened here, there will be a full race restart with quali grid and DNF cars will be allowed to return. If the race has less than 75% complete but more than 20%, it'll be 25% race and full points will be rewarded. And the grid will be done when the bug or the race was stopped. So if there was a safety car bug, it'll be called when the safety car came out. And then if there is more than 75% race raced, then it will not restart and the half points will be awarded. So that is how we do restarts, and that was done so that there was no confusion after there was a restart, I believe in Season 2. That was implemented in Season 3. And hopefully I made that clear. If not, you're more than welcome to read the rulebook. That is a bit boring, I will not lie. Hopefully, we've got 18 drivers in the lobby. I should be getting underway soonish. I've just got to apply the grid and quali position. And we will be starting off the exact same weather we had before. So it will be rain into dry. As Bailey, I believe, returns to us.
Yes, hello.
Hello, welcome back. How was your break?
Yeah, good.
That's good. I was doing the boring job of explaining the rules.
Oh yeah, always has to do that though. Someone's got to take that job.
Yeah, it's not fun.
It's not fun, but it has to happen.
No, yeah. Because we do have some new people in the chat. I have noticed. It's been really nice. And if you are new in the chat, we race Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 8 PM Australian, Eastern, and I believe at the moment it's standard time, but someone may be able to correct me.
No, that's
I'm
right.
from New Zealand. Okay, it is right. Okay, I'm from New Zealand, and I only know New Zealand time. And Australia has different time zones, and it confuses me, and I'm upset.
And we also have a sprint cup on some day and at some time that I will check with you right now because I forget.
It's on Saturday, and it's either there'll be one race at 4 PM and one race at 5 PM. I'm not sure if that one's being streamed. We're looking for a streamer to pick that one up, so that may also be streamed on this channel.
I mean, here it says 8 PM, but I'm not sure how correct that is. Never mind, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Don't listen to me.
Okay. I won't.
Yep, Saturday 4 PM.
There you go. So hopefully that will also be streamed on this channel. But if you don't want to remember times, you're more than welcome to follow. And you'll be notified whenever we do go live. Because we're only getting started, and we're only getting better, because there's been heaps of improvements, even in the casting standard, I won't lie. I've gotten better. Yes, I was worse than this, so be thankful I'm not. But we're getting better, slowly but surely. We're improving the graphics, we're improving everything, improving the division, adding more rules as people skirt around them, and beat our expectations. I'm talking to you, Tezza. And hopefully it only gets better and better from here. So shout out to HK, who's been very busy before the start of the season. Same with Basing, but HK's been organising the streaming team and making it better than ever. Definitely improved.
100%. HK's the god.
Yeah, God K, as his new nickname is.
Kevin, it's not very nice to pick on people for their accents.
Wow, Kevin. Wow. I mean, if he's not lucky, I'll use him as a luck totem So every time I've either hit Kev or tapped Kev during the race, I've had a good race. So I might have to go back to that.
Just gotta start near him, turn one, just look for him, have a little love tap, and then you'll be good
little
for the
wheel
rest of the
tap.
race.
It'll be fine. Yeah. Give me good luck.
If he spins you around, not your fault, you never saw
Not my
anything.
fault. I didn't do anything. It was lag. I think just people are just upset, being Kiwi. No, it's a rough life. I'm not gonna lie. Surrounded by Australians. They get jealous of your internet. They get jealous of your great accent that everyone likes.
Yeah, your internet is wild.
Yeah, I love it. It's the only thing I have over Australians. They got better food. They got better stuff to do. It's like
You have the
more
internet.
stuff. I have the internet. That's it.
That's all you need.
I live my life on a computer because I have to connect to Australia friends. Not enough people in New Zealand. Not enough F1 drivers in New Zealand.
You have a couple in F2, don't you?
Yeah,
One or two.
Liam Lawson and Marcus Armstrong. Of course, the
We
Kiwi
have-
knows that. Oscar Piastri. And
Daniel
no,
Ricciardo,
I was about to say
unfortunately.
Logan Sargent,
now.
but he's American. But it looks like we're getting back into the lobby. So there will be a formation lap, and we will have the chaos resume. But there will be a few drivers that are well off that, like Spliff and Impulse, who will be allowed to join back. And hopefully they'll be able to learn from their mistakes, because I did that. I spun and broke my front wing in my race on Tuesday. And then there was a lobby restart, and I did not spin. I still came, 14th. But I did not lose my front wing.
Yeah, it wasn't fun for me. I had a great first start. Second restart comes and I get punted from behind, lap 1.
I did see that. We were fighting quite a bit as well. It was quite fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. We did joke at the start before the race because we're both on no TC. We'll just be together at the back, and we weren't wrong.
Yeah, started playing the team game to try and let Xander pass to do what he could.
And then you broke into a corner, and I broke.
Yeah.
Did not see the breaking point. That was unfortunate, but it was very good racing. Which, funny enough, Div 3 does have the reputation of having good racing. It's always Div 2 that's problem child, and we saw that yesterday.
Yeah, of course.
And we're definitely seeing it here on the restart. Well, on the first part of this race. It is now void. So a lot of the incidents, people that did cause incidents might be breathing a sigh of relief. That didn't really affect their opposition.
Spliff getting a big save.
Almost taking out Impulse. That was an interesting one. Also, it'll be fun to watch that back after the race. There was definitely a few issues. And can't forget CJM also is being helped with that because he did lose his rear ring.
Of course, another formation lap.
Yeah.
We see them pull away again. Wet to wet strategy at the moment. I'm sure that will change later on in the race.
Yeah.
Zakov is gone.
Where is to be believed? Yes, Hunter. So all the people, because it's a less than 20% of the race was run, anyone who was DNF can come back. So it's like a full reset if nothing ever happened. So
Kind of like what happened at Silverstone, sort of. Complete reset. Apart from the people that DNF did not come back.
And Russell did not allow to rejoin, even though he tried very hard.
Poor George.
Yeah. Mr. Consistency couldn't consistently restart his car.
Let's just hope we don't see Guan Yu Zhou here.
It would have been restarted after turn 1 apparently, according to Basic, but his internet went out, which is the Australian internet striking again. It's unfortunate.
Very.
I will no longer mention internet. I've had my job. I feel happy. I feel confident. Dignity restored. And we can get back to the racing. As we have Frozzle bringing up the rear. Zakov seems to have overtaken Impulse, which is technically against the rules this season, because you can't overtake drivers in the formation lap because of you have to set up on the grid, which is a bit annoying if you have people in front of you.
A bit of a drift.
A little bit. He has gone up ahead.
I'm sure he'll let Impulse back pass before we start. If he doesn't, then it might be a problem, but I'm sure he will.
I'll be alright.
As we see a heavy downpour here.
Should be duplicated, the same as last race.
Hopefully, no clouds. I mean, only clouds, no blue. The only blue we see is the tarmac on the racetrack.
And the
Next
tyres. Stripe on the tyres.
Yeah, of course, and the tyres. And the mighty Alpine.
Yeah, Mighty Williams, Mighty Red Bull. What else?
Any other blue team.
Well, Red Bull isn't really
AlphaTauri.
blue anymore. I don't know why they're...
They really stuffed up the colouring of the Red Bull in this game.
Yeah, I'd rather them be like black. But then it would mix with AlphaTauri. They need to really just sort out the colours again. Or just give me logos.
Yeah.
They make my life so much easier.
Just that like blue
As
purple,
we
yeah.
see Frozzle in the background. Is that Frozzle doing a bit of a spin?
Oh, and someone behind him as well, Crush. Bringing up the very rear, gonna have to dive through a couple cars here.
Yeah.
Weaving through them all.
There's a Williams that's very sideways.
Who's that? That would be Eckham. Yep, that's
That'll be-
Eckham.
That'll be an interesting starting position. But it's lights out. And
Yeah.
they are off, but Impulse doesn't look like to get a good start like he did last time, but he does seem to be ahead of Zakov. Gears is not alongside of Zakov either this time, but there was a lot more of a bunch up, so there could be a lot more carnage going to turn 1. Let's get back to somewhere in the middle of the pack. See, that's a good photo. Or camera angle. We do see someone going off the track and rejoining. That looked like it might have been a Williams.
I believe it was Crush. Eckham, the great start up to P5. Crush, not so much. Cutting that first turn.
So far,
He's
not
back
too
now.
much. Not too much carnage. Nobody off. There's a little bit of jostling position. People have lost a few places. People have gained a few places. We'll check later. We can go details.
Let's see if people can live through this part of the track. A couple of them didn't make it through here last time. Let's see if that changes. As we have top 4, staying the same as quali here. Nothing changed there. As we see people gone 3 wide into this turn almost. Between Zay, Eckham, and Dutchy. Dutchy gets the move done on Eckham.
With Gears and Zay, 3 and 4th the Alpine, keeping it nice and consistent.
As I believe, I'll check here. No. Nothing for Crush there for that turn 1 incident, so he must have kept it clean through there.
Been pretty clean. The only person that have lost a lot in this start would be CJM. Other than that, everyone's only lost 1 place or gained a place, so it's not. It's pretty even, Stevens.
Couple positions, up to 3rd.
He is the biggest climber, but so far, not too major.
We start to see a big gap form between Impulse, Zakov, and Gaz, as you would expect. Impulse already running away with this one.
Yep. Definitely showing that he is very good in the wet. And that spin previously was not a
He got hit before, I believe, but still.
representation. Ah, that would be it then.
I believe he
Showing
got
he's
hit
very
by-
good in the wet, but will Zakov come back? There is someone off. It looks like it's Dalek who has come off from the Aston Martin. He does rejoin.
Onto your quick answer to that, no.
What did he say?
We will not sing for you.
If I buy, will you sing? No. God no.
Wherever why you owed that much. Oh, as Dalek gets a big snap of oversteer at the back there.
Dutchy's there making moves on Zay. But it is a lot what we did find in the race of Prodigy last night. Was that it's very hard to overtake in the wet. Because you have to burn your ERS. And if the other person in front of you is also matching your ERS drain, you can't really overtake. Unless you have a decent advantage, as there's some team orders on CGM and Lemon. Looks like CGM might also have more problems again.
Just
As he
been
gets
overtaken there by
overtaken.
Froswell. Froswell doing pretty well, gaining a couple positions at the start of this race. Is CJM getting very loose around that turn. He's
As
still
Barb
going.
goes off. He might not be comfortable in the wet. So I don't really blame him.
Best job here, getting very loose around a couple corners, and there's a bit of contact there with JJ. JJ
He
makes
is
the move.
falling down the order slowly but surely.
Great
Impulse
move by
sets
JJ
another
there.
fastest lap, increasing the time to Zakov, and Zakov's increasing the time to Gears.
Kebab's falling behind. The wet not working for a couple of these drivers here. CJM has fallen down quite a lot. He probably hope to bring that back up when the dries come out, if they do by the end of this race. That's looking pretty unlikely right now. Being at only lap 3, it is still very much pouring down rain. Those 6 laps or 8 laps of wet maybe looking to stretch out a little bit longer now.
Quite a bit of a train going from 3rd back to 8th.
Of course, they're not going to be able to do anything with it though, of course.
No.
They're disabled in the rain.
Fishing to see if anyone can capitalise. As it looks like there's been some changes. CJM has just gone all the way to the back and looks like in one corner. There's some changes in the back. He's definitely struggling.
Yeah, we see the pace.
Could be his setup, because that is 2 races now. I'm sure there'll be someone that'll be able to tell us if that is either a skill issue or there is something wrong. As it looks like Ikem goes off the track just very slightly, coming up into this corner.
Getting very close here between Gaz all the way down to Crush here.
His Impulse again stretches his lead.
Impulse and Zakov have flown away here. Zakov's doing what he can to try and keep up with him, but that gap just isn't closing anytime soon.
But overall, it is pretty close. Other than the Impulse and Zakov.
Yeah, only 2 seconds separate, or 2 or 3 seconds separate in the 2 packs here.
But while Impulse and Zakov are definitely fighting up here for the Drivers' Championship, the teammates aren't doing as well as Gears and Zay, who look really good to take decent chunk of points for the Alpines.
Yes.
Because the reason why Bailey's celebrating there for the people who are new in this race, it is because each division, there's 4 divisions, they each make a super team based on what team they drive. So at the end of the season, you'll have a super team winner. So out of all the races, all the points get tallied up, and whichever team has the most points across all 4 divisions will win.
Spoiler alert, Alpine are going to win. Maybe not if I keep going how I'm going.
Oh. Been left again, I believe.
No.
Just, oh no. I'm not sure what you said, but oh well. I zoned out for a second. Memorized by the rain graphics. So if there's one thing that is very good about this game, it's the rain. It looks quite beautiful.
Yeah, Impulse is just flying at this point.
Oh yeah, 4 seconds ahead.
No one's stopping him now.
Mercy, I think it can do it for you, but I don't think it'll be very interesting for you. I'll give you that.
Spoiler alert, they're all on 5-lap-old wets.
4.
4.
You're
4
down
lap
on
wets.
that. Can't believe it. How could you get that so wrong? Oh. It is definitely, we definitely do have a train here though. At the back of it with Val. And definitely there is not much overtaking going on, as Val's trying to take an alternate line to get a good run onto the exit to get more exit speed, but...
Be pretty interesting if someone loses it here. How many DNFs will we see?
Yeah, definitely.
Of course.
And you see that massive gap for Impulse and Zakov.
With a train like this, pit stops are going to be the real game changer here, as Gaz gets a brilliant exit there. Dutchy may be suffering a bit from that dirty air that Gaz has none of, being at the front of this pack. Oh, completely missed the fact that Dutchy got past Zay here. Dutchy moving up to 4th position.
So far, other than the chaotic first race that got called off, it's been pretty quiet.
Yeah, pretty
Apart from a
chill.
few
No one's
overtakes,
really doing
but
anything.
at the
Impulse
back,
again.
there's a bit of a fight at the back between CJM and Dalek, which we might be able to switch to in a bit. I want to see if anyone will be able to do a daring overtake into the first corner. Doesn't look like it.
Been even to the last corner. Nothing happening there though.
See what's happening at the backpack, which just seems to be a bit of fighting between CGM and Dalek and everyone else.
Any moves gonna be done? No.
No, I wouldn't want to make a move into turn 1 and 2 in full wets, if I'm honest.
Yeah, that's very
seems
true.
like a deadly auction. Might be right at the start when everyone's not going too full speed and wary of everyone else, but if you're not wary of the other drivers behind you, it can get a bit dicey. As we see someone go off, which might have been the Alpine. Not the Alpine. Sorry, the Haas. Nobody making any moves?
Impulse is running away with this. It will be pretty interesting when the dries come out. Will we see a change of pace, or will it stay pretty much the same?
Well, we know Zakov's pretty quick in the dry.
Yeah, of course. It's all a matter as well of if you can time your pit stop right to get that switchover period just right so you have enough pace and enough grip.
So far, not really anyone having that overspeed versus anyone else to justify that overtake. We see Zay on the back of Dutchy. He can keep it clean throughout the whole third sector and keep on the tail. We might be able to do something.
Yes,
turn 1.
They're looking to get that position back that Dutchy took off him there.
It does look like he might be losing a bit of time into the third sector. Impulse already has a 6.5 second lead. And Zakov has looks like a 7.8 second lead to Gears. So maybe by the end of this stint, you might even see them, or at least Impulse, if he can stretch the tyres long, comfortably be able to make a pit stop. But he does have some more work to do for that to happen.
Gap right now between Gears and Impulse is up to 14 seconds, so Impulse very much in charge here as we see yellow flags in Sector 1, CJM.
That'll be CJM losing it.
Not the best race for him.
Definitely not enjoying the wet weather in France.
Well, I don't. To be fair to him, I don't enjoy it anyway.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Wet weather is a bit of a pain. Oh, as it looks like we have an Alpine going off. Manages to get out the way, but it brings in everyone else to be able to do a fight here. Looks like
Zay.
Val may have gotten some good exit speed.
Apex and Zay here.
Lemon gets a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting.
First penalty of the
not
day
what
there.
you want.
What's happened to Zay there? He's lost a couple positions. Tries to go back on Apex. Can he get the move done? Sticks it on the inside there, but not sure how much he can do. Apex keeping him out there. Great racing from these two.
Dalek having a spin. It looks like CGM might be retiring after the end of this lap because he did cut the chicane at the back straight. As we're Val on the back of Crush. And with the Alpine going wide into the corner, and chicane back straight last lap, it's led Dutchy to get a decent start, or decent lead, sorry, on the guys he was fighting. As Dialect has come into the pits. And CGM has come into the pits. So are they pitting or are they retiring?
Find out soon enough. I believe they're both just pitting because they would be retired by now.
See if they've gone into... Dalek has gone intermediates and CGM have gone wets.
I believe CJ needed a wing change there.
That might be why he was struggling for quite a while. Because you can run on the wing with no wing in this game. It's a bit less deadly. As we see the Williams teammates go side by side, but that looked like that might have been a bit of team orders.
Yeah,
So let Crush ahead.
we'll see what Dalek does
Ooh,
here.
They're very close. Lemon gets another 3-second time penalty for corner cutting.
Dalek got a penalty. Would that be speeding in the pit lane?
I believe he got 3 seconds. We can have a look. It's a 3-second for some sort of corner cut.
Will the intermediates work, you reckon, or is it just too early still? Or might be a bit too early as we see a snap of oversteer there from Dalek.
He's definitely the guinea pig for everyone. As we see a Williams come into the pit, he may also be going on to a set of inters.
Eckham diving in from 4th position there. Or 5th, I believe.
Is this a Williams master plan? Wait and see. Will he be going on inters or will he be going on wets?
Inters it should be. It is, it's inters.
It's inters.
Some people believing. Oh, and a wing change too.
Oh, that might be why.
As Lemons come in as well, is he... A lot of people getting on the inters now. Might just be the crossover period. Mark has given the word and is now the crossover period. Now we'll see what happens with Impulse and Zakov at the front. Will there be a switch up there?
Decent chunk of time between Impulse and Zakov, and he still looks like he's still gaining on Gears, or Gears is gaining on him. But I wonder if you wait for everyone else to pit and then you pit, because you've got that time advantage. You can probably wait for it.
Well, the undercut looks pretty powerful in this new game, so you never know. Some positions could be gained here from Ekim. But by the looks of things, it might still just be a bit too wet for intermediates here, as we see some of the inter runners sliding around here. As CJM's just come in a lap later from pitting onto new wets to pit back onto the inters.
Ekim is losing a bit of time.
If I missed any more pit stops, no.
As JJ looks to be on the back of Rosal here. As Impulse sets another fastest lap.
Zakov jumped into the pits now.
Zakov jumped in the pits. Just as Impulse sets the fastest lap. I don't know if it's
Dutchy and
crossover
Gares
time.
fighting here.
Apex get a 5-second time penalty for exceeding track limits.
I believe that's on the pit entry. Might have crossed the white line. As we see a lot of people diving into the pits now, they think that it's time, as we got Dutchy right on the back of Gares here.
JJ comes into the pits for possibly for inters. So it's interesting to see what Impulse does. We can do a bit of a ride along. We'll follow Dutch just for a bit as he chases down Gears. Have a look at his telemetry, how he's turning the wheel. A bit of a different perspective in the broadcast camera. He's taking a different line to get a better exit speed. It looks like it might be working.
Oh, he's right up alongside him here. Will there be contact? Hopefully not. He's got there.
Some clean racing.
Oh,
it looks like Gears
very
is
late
backed
braking.
out.
Gears is backed out, wants to give Dutchy the position. Will he have another go at him through here?
I don't think
Gears got
so.
the
He doesn't
exit
look
speed.
like he's got the ERS to keep up. Dutchy does have
No.
more ERS.
Unless Gears may think he's faster through here, can he get something done? Or will he just let him pass? Because you never know, Gears might be letting him pass as a strategy. Is he pitting this lap? He's looking very slow here.
Zakov's
Maybe
trying to
his
make
chance
his
to
way up the
box.
field.
21 seconds now separate Dutchy and Impulse. Oh, Gears might have had a crash here. He's left the session. That's never
Yep,
good.
his game definitely has crashed. Because he's still on the track. He hasn't...
Hasn't crashed out of the race, but his game may have had a little whoopsie.
Yeah, just a bit. Impulse still hasn't pitted. He is gaining on Dutchy. He is gaining by quite a considerable margin each lap, so maybe he could just try to build that gap and then pit to see if he can get a free pit stop. Decker gets a 3-second time penalty.
Of course, Dutchy hasn't pit yet either, though, so...
A few pits. We can go on to Zakov. See how he's faring on the inters, because we haven't done this yet.
He may be the faster tyre at this point in the race. He's looking to have some speed on them now, as the rain has eased off a bit. It is not pouring like it was before.
Yeah.
As we see a lot of people come to the pits now. Kebab, Deku and Frozzle or jumping in the box. Frozel, I believe, has stayed on wets. I'm not sure what that decision there is. Not sure about that decision to stay out on the wets instead of boxing for inters.
I mean, Kato is dropping Zay by a couple tenths, but it could have just been a just the sector that they were in, because it does look like he's gained back those time. It doesn't look too much big of a difference.
Yeah, but you never know.
It looked like
Frozel's left the session as well.
Frozel left the session and he
today,
pitted
maybe.
on wets. Which is unfortunate for Frozel, because I don't think that's a tyre you really want to be on.
Oh, he's back. Maybe just
The
a little
AI
issue there.
the AI may have screwed him here, putting him on the wets. Which is
Yeah,
a
of
bit
course, these
unfortunate.
people on the inters early, even though it might not be the weather for them yet, might just want to get them worn into the track so that when the new people do come out onto the inters, they might be a bit slower. As Dutchy comes in now.
Into the pits. Everyone comes into the pits. Val gets a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting.
I believe I've just seen Crush do an overtake into the pit lane on Val there. Or
And
Val
that
might
may-
have tried it on Crush, and I
That's
think Val tried it
not
on Crush
very
and it
good.
just did not succeed.
That's
So-
not good. That's not what you want, but I believe you will see Impulse coming into the pits at the end of this lap, because he needs to now, with Zakov slowly closing in.
If I have some fun with that.
Yeah.
If
Good luck,
anyone on the Williams or Ferrari side of things can tell us what happened there, that would be great, because I just caught the end of it. I didn't see the full thing.
Frozel gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Frozel goes into the pits again to probably put on intermediates after an unfortunate incident where he got put onto the wets. See the Williams teammates of Eckham and Crush. Somewhat close, but obviously not taking each other and communicating about what they want to do. Coming up to the pits. Impulse does not pit.
Impulse might be trying to stretch this out all the way to the dry stint here, which might not work. Gez maybe trying the same thing.
He
Not
does
sure how-
have a decent chunk of time to Zakov, but yep, and we got to remember Zakov also has to pit. All the inters behind him have to pit for those dries as well. So he's got a decent amount of chunk of time to actually stretch out the lead.
Oh no, Gez is going in this lap and 5-second time penalty there, shoots it way too much, and he might have to serve that this pit stop, which is going to lose him a tremendous amount of time to the rest of the field. He may be jumped by Dutchy here, and maybe even his teammate Zay, who has gotten back past Dutchy.
He doesn't. No. Oh yes, he does have to serve that 5-second penalty. That's not what you want.
He'll be very far behind here unless Zay can do some magic and hold everyone back.
Got a huge
No,
train
Gez is-
once again.
Gaz will be coming out behind Val here, maybe even Apex. No, Apex is a bit too far back. Maybe not. He might be coming out behind the second train as well. He'll be all the way back behind Kebab here. It's going to be close. No, gets out ahead of Kebab. That's a very unfortunate turn of events there for Gaz, who was looking so strong this race.
He loses so much time to that, and he's got to make his way back up the field.
Of course, CJ still struggling on a bit at the back as Impulse has lapped CJ and maybe on his way to lap Frozel.
We've got Dutchy on the back of Zay.
Frozel, of course, had to pit again. He's gone to the inters now, so that may have been a bit of an AI stuff up on his part.
Seeing the straight line speed on these wet tyres. His Impulse gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, I believe that was. So
I
he
can
might
check
be
for
having
you
to
now.
serve a 5-second too. Let's have a look.
It was also exceeding track limit, same as Gez, so he'll have to serve this here, so it might be very close between Zakov and...
Where will he come out?
Might be very close here between Zakov
Right on
and
Zakov,
Impulse.
see where he is. He's definitely gunning it, but with Impulse at the in pit lane, he
Inters
doesn't have
are
much
on.
time. I think he will get up ahead of Zakov, but a lot of his advantage has
Well, he's taking a
disappeared.
while to exit the pit lane. Not sure what happened there, but Zakov is ahead of him. Not sure what happened there, took a while to exit the box. Maybe a bit
Zakov
of...
does gain the lead.
Maybe a bit of fun there from Impulse. I'm not sure. It took a while for him to leave the garage. Could be an issue with some equipment of his, or just to stuff up on his
I
part.
never realised that it wasn't an automatic pit release, maybe. But they are elite, so they do know the rules. So I wouldn't really see that as the reason.
Zakov has just gone purple in the first sector, if I believe so. So Zakov looking very strong here. As we see yellow flags, Frozel is in the wall.
Yeah? Or is he not out?
He's still in. Doesn't look to have too much damage, but he's in the wall.
As we see a Alfa Romeo going slow.
Could that be an
Like
on-track
Cadio?
retirement or just a spin?
No, that would just be a spin.
Yellow flags again for Frozel. What's happened now? Frozel
He is
out of the race.
DNF'd.
That could be a safety car.
Is it?
As Frozel has spun it into the wall.
It is a safety car. Safety car has been deployed. This brings Impulse on the back of Zakov, which is probably what he wanted now, seeing as he had that bad pit stop. We do have a few other drivers here as well that might be able to get rid of their 3 seconds, I believe. We can serve in the pit stops. It's an unfortunate race for Frozel. Did not go too well. I will say, I did say at the start of the stream that we got to watch out for Dutch, who's making his return after 1 season off. And he's come back storming with currently P3, and he'll put him on the back of Impulse. He did seem quite quick.
This safety car will stir things up, of course. CJM, I believe, has unlapped himself. So he will be up with the pack now, not the lap down that he was before. Zakov leaves the safety car. He's the only one that's caught up. Impulse right on his tail, though. This will be a fight for the win if I've ever seen one.
Wow, Kev. Just wow. That, I'm hurt. It's... As Dalek gets a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits.
That was on pit lane. The pit lane is very unforgiving here. You go wide on it at all and you will get the 5-second time penalty for it that you have to serve instantly, as Gares only just comes back now.
He may have to serve it, but he might, if he have to serve it under safety car, it's not the end of the world. But it doesn't look like he did, because he's coming up pretty...
I believe he did serve it. I saw his pit crew static there for a second as
Okay. Well,
if we look at the penalties. 10 seconds for Valde he got. Maybe trying that overtake on Crash.
He did. Yeah, he's only got 3 now, which was useful for him because it is a safety car, so it's not the biggest thing in the world. And we'll definitely be getting the full safety car here. I don't think the back of the pack will be catching up anytime soon. Going to be a interesting restart because a lot of these drivers that were not in the fight, especially for like P10, P9, Lemon I believe is quite far back, but in Deku they come back onto the back of the pack and they'll be able to fight for that P10, maybe even more. Mercy wants it on tyres, but I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. I do believe everyone's still on inters, but there is a few bit of lap differences. I can see why. Got Crush. You got a few people on a few fresh ones too. You've got Impulse on 2 laps, Dotchi on 4, Crush on 4, Val on 4, Gears on 3, and Dalek on 0. So they might be a bit quick off the start. Apparently also, thanks to Kev, it will be dry in 10 minutes. So
Okay,
the safety car will drop that down.
I wasn't sure if we meant 10 minutes or 10 laps there. Happily you said minutes, because laps, and this should be dry for the entire rest. So that will make it interesting now.
I feel like 10 minutes because of not Jeff. I don't know who the new race director is called.
Mark.
I will have to admit, even though I did not like Jeff, I do kind of miss him because Mark seems like pretty much the same as Jeff, just more annoying.
Yes.
Gives me the same boring strategies, the same boring comms, no difference, no flavor. I was hoping if they were going to hire anyone, they'll give me a bit more flavor, a bit more pizzazz, and with the help during the race, but it's just copy and paste. I really miss Jeff.
I think everyone misses Jeff. Rip Jeff.
Bring a petition to bring him back for 23, I reckon.
Yeah, bring back Jeff.
Fire Mark after one season. Do a what is it? Yeah, Gasly. Put him back. Put him back in the dumps. Make him the race engineer for F2. And if he does well there, then maybe I might
That would actually be kind of smart having 2 different race engineers there.
Yeah, one F2, one F1. Could do that. And just a reminder for everyone, this is the first race of the season. It is 11 races. Next week we have Hungary, which is even more deadly than France with even more walls. They call it the other Monaco, I believe.
The Monaco away from Monaco.
Yeah, the Monaco away from Monaco. So we'll hopefully not see a lot of deaths, but we might see a lot of deaths. I'm sure Academy will be hectic as always. We got a lot of reports for Academy for the FIA this week, and I'm sure it will continue again next week. And it looks like Gears has pitted for softs. He is going for the long shot. It's right on him. See how he fares under the safety car as he comes out of the pits. I think that'll be quite interesting while we wait for the safety car to come in. See how well he does. Coming out of the pits, if he can... what my camera's doing here. Not liking me. TV pod. Hopefully it will put... Not putting us on TV pod. It's still saying that he's in the pit. Which is an interesting bug. He may be AI'd, which would explain the tyre choice. It's the AI. The AI has decided to put him on softs. This is an unfortunate series of events for Gears, who has really been affected here by the AI. The safety car in this lap, he won't be able to catch up. CJ will be stuck behind him. Not too happy with that either. Be interesting to see what happens with Gears if he sticks with it. Or he comes into the pits. With no safety car, he might just have to stick with it if he wants points at the start of this race. As we swap over to Zekov for the restart. How do you see this one going, Bailey?
Ooh, it's going to be very interesting from the restart. Impulse will be right on Zakov here as we go back underway. You never know, it could be a spin, someone could be caught off guard. Of course, Val's going to suffer from those 10 seconds, maybe able to get removed, maybe not. You'll see at the end.
Yeah, it definitely will be a bit of suffering. I hear the pole is very personal, according to Kev, but I can't see it. My chat's not big enough, but we do have a restart. Impulse doesn't get off away too quickly, but he does manage to not catch up to Zakov, but managed to gain a little bit of time. Dutchy's losing a bit. He is dropping to about a second behind Impulse and Zakov. So far behind, you've got Crush on the back of Zay. You've got Kebab fighting Spliff. Other than that, everyone's keeping a reasonable somewhat distance. We've also got Val on Ekim. And Gears decided to stay on the softs. He kind of has to at this point. And there's the straight line speed that you don't really have in the wet. That's why we haven't really seen, while it's been close racing, we haven't seen many overtakes thanks to the straight line speed issue in the wets.
Yeah, of course.
We have Impulse catching up to Zakov. Does look like the track may be drying out a bit. If my eyes don't deceive me, there might be a dry line. As Dalek gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings.
Yeah, dry line could be coming through here, as I believe there is. So Gez could maybe profit from this. A dry line may be appearing slightly, but he has fallen pretty far back.
And he is also on the softs that will not last at the end of the race.
Yeah, he'll have to.
Yeah, AI has not really helped him here.
He'll have to hold that out for a while if he wants to last to the end.
Have the Williams boys who have stuck together pretty much this entire race. Had not too many dramas for them. Few team orders between the two if someone thinks they're a bit faster. We also have Zay holding them up just a bit. His Impulse might look to make a move here. And he does. Doesn't look like Zakov's fighting it too much. No, he doesn't. As Zakov gets a 3-second time penalty for cutting that corner, which puts Impulse in a very good position. But there is that pit stop bug that does give you a few warnings, so he may or may not get that removed at the end of the race. It was definitely not all over. As we have somewhat close racing. I'm definitely interested to see when it goes to dries, because we're definitely getting a lot more overtakes when it starts to go dry, because you can definitely see it starting to dry out now.
Yeah.
One or two more laps is definitely going to start going as Zakov comes into the pits. He's got to try something, and he is doing it now.
A lot of people have followed him in. Zay and Ekim, there's a train in the pit lane here.
5-second time penalty. It's not what you want.
Bit of a train through the pits here. Everyone coming in. Everyone thinks this is the right time to pit onto the new tyres.
Zakov,
and it very much
mediums.
could be.
Kebab goes softs. We might get a mix of softs and mediums. Some people believe the softs will be better. Some people believe the mediums will be better.
Softs for 7 laps. They will last to the end.
Mediums might be a bit faster near the end. We have Zakov just absolutely gunning it. There's a few time penalties coming into the pits too, so we may see some people drop back. Also with the amount of people in the pit lane, it's a bit of a congestion. If we go to have a look at this congestion here, because it definitely looks like there's a bit of time. As we have someone off in Sector 3, which might be CJM, it does look like it. Gears gets a 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. Definitely
not the best race for Gears here now.
Not really. But we're going to start seeing some overtakes now, so I'll try and catch that action when I get to it. Anything out of the top 10 though, it's a bit hard to catch it, because it's a bit of a difficult to actually get to them. As Deku looks to make the move, but fakes him out. Trying to put pressure on Spliff, who is on the medium tyres, so he will be faster. Impulse gets a 5-second time penalty for exceeding track limits into the pit lane. So he will have to serve that inside of the pit lane.
Crush following him gets a 3-second time penalty, so a bit more lenient on Crush there. And
but I believe you don't have to serve the 3-second time.
No, the 3-second won't have to be served in the pit lane, so very good for Crush, but not good for Apex. His teammate getting the 5 seconds. The double stack may not work here.
Yeah, Impulse is...
No, he'll be held up a bit here. Not for too long, but still held up. And it is the softs.
Zakov goes clean. Yeah, you kind of have to. They've gone 6 laps, and if you want to catch up to Zakov, you gotta have to. But an Impulse does go mediums as well. But that's 5 seconds into the pit lane.
Yes, has gotten himself right back in the action here with that fastest lap.
Yeah, definitely trying to make up that ground, especially on Spliff.
As we see a bit of sunshine cracking through now.
Definitely the track is dried up now. We'll go on Crush, because it does look like he's going to have a good run. Does have DRS, but can he hold off? It doesn't look like he can. He cannot catch up. Go to Gears, who also cannot catch up. It does seem like it's not being very beneficial. Nobody's really going for it. Ekam gets a 3-second time penalty. Now might be a good time to quickly go to the penalties. As you see, Val with 13 with that 10-second cutting corner penalty that he might be able to get removed, depending on what happens. Lemon with 12. Definitely some big shake-ups into the penalties.
Zay here is getting pretty close to Dutchy. This may be a fight for second place here between Kebab, Zay, and Dutchy, as DRS is open for Zay and for Kebab. Will this hurt Dutchy in the long run, being ahead there?
I don't
As
think they'll
Kebab
overtake
takes
into
the new
this
fastest
corner.
lap.
But they're definitely going to have a good run in the back straight.
Yeah, the DRS on the back straight is very strong around here, as well with the straight line speed. Dutchy may be in a bit of trouble here, could lose one, maybe even two positions as Kebab right on the back of Zay there. We'll see what happens.
Doesn't look like, well, the DRS is quite powerful. It doesn't look like it's
Not powerful enough.
not powerful enough for at least
So I
these
believe-
drivers.
I believe Zay closed it early there, knew he wasn't going to get the move done as we look on as the
There's
sun
Apex
shining
going
behind them.
down, diving on Deku. He makes it stick, but Deku does fight back out of the corner, tries to switch back, but Apex manages to do a little bit of break on the corner. Isn't able to capitalize on that switchback. If anything, he loses out quite big time.
The over average number of pit stops here today has shown costly, as there are a lot of penalties on the board. Maybe a cause of the pit stops, the cold tyres, or maybe the track limits into the pit lane, you never know. As Zakov, don't want to jinx it, but may have closed this one out here. Got a 3-second lead to Dutchy, and I believe it will just be a fight for second place between these three, maybe even four now if Impulse gets into the mix, which looks very likely knowing his pace, but he has Crush behind him, looking to get stuff done. As we see behind him is Val, Spliff, Gears, and Apex to close out the top 10, with Deku very close behind. We'll see what happens here.
The good graphics is everything's on high and NZ Internet and a good PC because I've decided to buy it after graduation. So that's why the game does look quite nice. We'll follow along with Kebab Dutchy here because it's definitely the fight for some decent points in the championship, as Impulse is also caught up. And as it looks like Impulse might come to... Oh no, he's not overtaken. We've got 4 more laps with this train here, and it's definitely going to be a fight to the end here.
Also got to watch out with Dutchy's penalty.
Yeah, let's have a look. That's
So
a
that'll
3-second, but it
As
could
well as-
also be removed. Zakov also has a 3-second penalty that also could be removed, because we know the
course.
pit lane does have a few bugs. But we'll have to wait till the FIA's decision on that after the race.
But Zay here has...
As there's a crash between Gears and Apex. Both
Gears
get
and Apex hitting each other.
absolutely destroyed. It
Uh-oh.
looks like Apex hit Gears in the back.
That's
not-
never good.
That is not good at all. Both of them will lose out big time, and that's pretty much their race is over.
Gears won't be happy about that. I'm sure we'll have some words with Apex after.
I know I wouldn't be happy about that one, as Impulse manages to make it up to P4. Passing
Zay.
Kebab. Sorry, Impulse.
Zay's almost ran away with this one now. 1.5 seconds ahead as Impulse makes the move on Dutchy on those mediums.
But those tyres will be screaming a little bit for Zay, so it does look like Impulse is gaining quite heavily, and we know he is rapid compared to the rest of the field, other than Zakov, who really can match him.
Ooh, I believe, I don't want to curse anything, but I believe Zakov does have this one in the bag now. As Kebab gets a 3-second time penalty. They go 3 wide around that turn, and Kebab's been hit. Kebab gets closed off by Dutchy. I mean,
Whoa,
sorry,
and
by
he's
Crush
in the
there, and
middle
it's a
of
bit
the
of
track.
bit of a
He
reset
is in
the
the
track
middle of
there.
the
Not gonna,
track.
don't call myself no snitch, but that was a bit of a reset the track there by Kebab, so that'll be looked at towards the end by the
Definitely
FIA.
will be, because that
5-second
almost
penalty
killed
coming.
a few people.
That, I believe, will be followed up with a quali ban for Kebab.
As there's a lot of fighting going on. We did say once it got into the soft tyre territory, and dry tie territory, sorry, that we will have a lot of racing. It does look like we have some racing, which is causing carnage as they're fighting for as much points as possible.
I feel like it's almost obvious now that Impulse will eventually catch up to Zay, and when that does happen, it will be a 1-2 for the ex-Red Bull boys, now one Red Bull boy and a Haas, of course, as Impulse carrying the weight a bit for the Haas's here as Apex drops down to 16. Zay also carrying the weight for the Alpines, you could say. Zakov almost doing the same for the Red Bulls. Spliff and P8.
Crush and Dutch having a really good battle going side by side through most of the third sector. I think this is the sort of battle that will go down to the wire. It does look like the most pristine battle on the track right now, so we'll follow along and go a bit of onboard. Won't go to broadcast just yet, because I know a lot of people like broadcast news, but we can appreciate the sun, appreciate the battle.
Sun looks wild. Sure, the drivers wouldn't be too happy about the glare from that sun, though.
Yeah, I mean, they do have helmets that are meant to block that, so I know I personally don't actually race with these settings, but I thought I'd turn them on for the stream. As Impulse goes down the outside, the inside into the corner at the end of the straight. Zay will definitely try to fight back, but he does give.
Crush getting a bit of a run on Dutchy here, but is it enough? It's not. Gets a lot better entry into the corner. Can he keep it through the exit, though?
We also have Spliff looking to catch up, but he's not doing it. Crush is looking to definitely getting that strip lane, definitely helping him into the third sector.
And yes, of course, on that, it's only one lap, but that could be vital towards the end of the race. That one lap tyre advantage as Dutchy goes a little bit wide. Crush maybe looking for a move here.
Doesn't look like it too much.
You could be waiting for that DRS and maybe even a turn 1 move, or even onto the last hairpin. You get DRS before the last turn, he could be gathering that DRS and then could go for a move there. As he gets the run, is he going to go for it? No, he's 6 behind. Could he go for a turn 1 move here? It's all about the exit. Dutchy gets a better one.
Yeah, Crush does get a bit of wheel spin off the back, does not get a good run down into turn 1. Probably will wait for the back straight to make this move, as Spliff looks like he's gaining. There won't be enough on Kebab, who's still on the softs, but does have a penalty. Spliff the only one in that whole field, other than Impulse and Zay, that does not have a penalty. You want to keep it that way too.
Yeah, impressive clean driving from all these boys. 3 that do not have penalties, of course. A couple may be removed. There's a lot of issues with the pit lane in this game. Of course, them having to pit a lot does add to the issues. As Crush gets the DRS here on Dutchy. Is it enough? He doesn't use the ERS. May just want to stick behind for the last lap.
Yeah, definitely making a move for the last lap, because you don't want to overtake them on this lap and have a problem coming into the last lap when they've got your DRS and you don't have any ERS to fight it.
Yeah, of course, starting this race, all cloudy, rainy skies. Now we've got blue skies out, a couple clouds. It's all wet, it's all dry now though. We've only had one DNF. Frozzle, unfortunately, DNFing on those intermediates. As Crush almost went for the move there. Thought he was going to go for it, backed out in the end.
Definitely going down to the wire, but it does look like the top 3 is pretty much secure. As Impulse gets a 3-second time penalty, this puts Zay within fighting position. If he can keep within that 3 seconds, he can get second place. But it does look like Impulse is dropping him.
There's Crush. Oh, Val's coming to... Oh, there's a big train from Dutchy now.
Fight's not favouring them too, because it's definitely putting everyone in. And Spliff even is coming back into the fight, which is the person you don't want, because he does not have to fight too hard because of the time penalties. Because he knows he can't catch Zay, but he can definitely get 4th place if he can just keep onto the back of these 3.
Spliff can just sit here now. Of course, they all have their 3-second penalties. They might be getting removed. They might not. You never know. Val, of course, with the 10 seconds. As we see a spin, I believe that's Apex round there. Not the best race for Apex, of course. His first race coming out of Div 2 into Div 1. And not the best result.
There is a different beast coming into Div 1 from Div 2. As Crush is looking to make some sort of move, but he's not going to be able to do it here. Spliff does look like he also has a run, but he's not really risking it here. Ickham also has a move, but not really anyone can really make any moves. You're definitely going to look at, as we see, one of the drivers go wide. It looks like Kebab and the Mercedes. We are going to have a side-by-side battle between Deku and Kebab as Spliff overtakes Val.
Crush going for it. Can he get the move done? Crush. They're going side by side. Crush is going to look to get the move done here with those fresher tyres. 1 lap, but the 1 lap is all the difference as Dutchy goes a bit slow around that apex.
Dalek is
Seeing
also
what he can
taken
do as
out.
Zakov takes the race win. Impulse comes home for second place. Zay will take third. Is Crush going to go for the move? He goes for the dive and there's contact.
And there's contact. That's going to have a lot of problems. Spliff actually managed to
Dutchy
make that
keeps
through
it
quite
and
clean.
Spliff gets through. What a finish to the race as Dutchy comes home. 4th place. Of course, Spliff 4th after the penalties. Crush finishing that race in 6th. Kebab in 7th, but that might get changed after Kebab's penalty for resetting to the track. And yeah.
That was definitely an interesting race end. It was a bit boring up in the wet with not many to overtakes. Ekim gets a 5-second penalty due to a unserved penalty.
Yeah,
It does drop him back quite a bit.
Of course, this race will hurt Kebab. Penalties from the race as well of that penalty for resetting to track. That may picking up a quali ban in the next race.
But we'll say the preliminary order before the FIA has a look at a lot of these incidents that happened today. We have Zakov, which you were correct. You had Impulse on pole and Zakov winning the race at the very start before anything happened. So I'll give you credit on that one. You did get the prediction correct.
Someone wants to pay me money, I'll predict you to win and then you'll win.
Yeah. Can you do the actual Formula 1 races?
Yeah, I'll just say that
Who's
Ricciardo
winning, who's winning
race.
France? Daniel Ricciardo winning France?
Gasly.
Oh, Gasly
Calling
winning
it.
France. Okay,
Calling
Gasly
it.
winning France. You heard it here first. Put $1 on it, and you probably get like $20.
Calling it right now. Gasly first.
Yeah. You see a very happy Zakov coming onto the podium. Which unfortunately I'm
Deserved
going to have
that
to
one.
skip a little bit of it. Let's go to the race director. We'll go to the incidents. Just for the anyone who needs to report it, they can use this as a Twitch clip, which we like to do for the drivers. But as you can see, it's a very long list. And I wouldn't go anywhere. If you want to hear the interviews, we will be interviewing some of the drivers that happened throughout the race. Ask them a few questions. If there's any driver you specifically want to see, let me know, and I can bring them in if they're available. Decent chunk of pit stops too, more than I've ever seen. I'll just chuck us into the interview screen. I do have to reset up the audio though, so give me 1 second. I will just have a quick capture. Hopefully they'll be able to hear you. Bailey?
Yes.
Hopefully they'll be able to hear you for the interviews, but we
Hopefully.
can see who we can drag in. Let's have a look. Who do we
Apparently
want to drag
Gasly is
in?
paying $401 to win
Well, you heard it here first.
the
Chuck a
French
dollar on
Grand
it.
Prix. We'll put money on him right now.
Put $1
Even
on it.
$2. Put $2 on him.
What I'll do is I'll put $3 on him, and if he wins,
Yeah.
I get a new racing setup. It'll be great.
Easy.
Yeah. Make sure you're the legal age to gamble. I'll put that clarification there. If you're not legal
Yeah.
age, please
Don't listen to me. You didn't hear it here. You heard it from
No.
Salty, not me.
Yeah. Hey, no, I'm not taking credit.
Yep.
For it. No. So if you do
Yep.
win money, I'll take 50% cut.
You heard,
'cause
you
he's
heard
not
from
taking
HK.
credit. I will bring in for our first interview. I will probably bring in Zakov, even though we're showing people his screen. I will have to bring him in. Oh wait, no, I moved him to the very wrong chat. That's my bad. Wait, give me a second. Sorry about that one, Zakov. I moved you to the wrong chat out of habit. Congratulations on that. It was a bit of a hectic race near the end there, and in the wet, and the pit lane, causing disaster for everyone up and down the field. What's your take on the race?
Well, I knew people would get 5-second to serve penalties from the pit entry because of the bug, but unfortunately they can't do anything about that, so I capitalised off that. Went for the undercut. Took a few gambles, but yeah, and it paid off in the end. I just kept going, kept pushing, stayed consistent. Yeah, GG everyone. Got lucky on the restart there. I got a drive through. I had like
Yeah, we did see
14
that.
seconds of my red delta or something like that. So
Oh,
yeah, it was a bit weird.
Yeah,
I had to completely stop.
Well, you got lucky on the restart, and then you definitely capitalised on it.
Yeah, I took that second chance, and I just thought, I'll give it everything I got, and it worked out in the end. So
We were discussing that momentum's everything. So you're leading the championship going into void of any FIA penalties, obviously, for anything. But you're leading the championship going into round 2 in Hungary. So hopefully you can get the double back to back.
Hopefully, yeah, that's the plan. But yeah, it's pretty early. I just wanted to get the win under my belt just to get off on the right foot and see how it goes from there, I guess.
Right then, well, I will send you back to your team. And congratulations on the win.
Thanks, guys.
Who else can we bring in?
I do not believe the Impulse is talking to anyone. We could grab Zay.
We could grab Zay, but we could also grab Dutch.
Dutchy.
From what happened at the end there.
Race.
Yeah.
Up at the end there, yeah, we could bring in Dutchy. We could.
Let's bring in Dutch.
Yeah.
Dutch. Bad luck at the end there, but he did manage to keep it together at the drag race down the line.
Oh, yeah. Jesus.
What was your thought on that race as a whole? Because there was a bit of chaos with the penalties on the pit.
I kept clean with the penalties in the pit lane because I knew how to avoid it. But I was running 2020 wings, and I'm guessing a lot of people were running like 13-13 in the wet. I was capitalizing in the wet, but then in the dry, you saw what happened.
It got very chaotic at the end there, especially that last corner.
I was a good 5 seconds ahead of Zay, and then it ended up being like 8 or 9 seconds behind him. So just shows you the wings in this game is crucial.
So after missing a season, making your return this season, can't be too disappointed on the result.
No, I was expecting to be pretty low, actually. I was expecting to be out of the points, seeing how many good drivers there is, and I'm just happy that it was wet, and I can always capitalize on the wet. I'm always very strong in the wet, so I'm happy with that.
Well, hopefully you can improve in Hungary. Is that favourite track of yours? Or?
Don't race Hungary too much, not a fan. But I'm not a fan, but I'm not loved. I don't love it either.
Yeah.
Either. It's more just what comes to me. Hopefully it rains again.
If it rains and get a win, I'll be looking forward to it. Praying for rain and praying for a win for Dutch.
Top 3 is what I'm aiming for. Can't beat those 2 guys up top. No way.
Oh,
the speed they were carrying was absolutely insane.
They definitely had a massive gap, and Impulse in the rain was extremely impressive.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I will let you go back to your team.
Cheers.
And, have a good luck in next race.
Yeah, cheers. Thank you, boys. Thanks for streaming.
We've just had Impulse doing a call, so we can get him up here.
I don't want to give him a bit too much of a hard time. Well, bring him into a chat because of the buggers and stuff. I wouldn't want to be bridge into a chat. I think I'll let him have his piece.
Alright.
For that one, but we can bring in Zay if you want.
Zay, alright, I'll drag him up now.
Zay, interesting race from Alpine's perspective.
Good day, mate.
Good day. You're having a good team. Good teamwork in the very start, but you seem to drop it at the end due to Gear's unfortunate incidents in the pit lane.
Yeah, Gears had a lot of trouble on his end because his game kept crashing. I think he crashed like 3 times that race, so he got very unlucky with that.
Extremely. We did see he went on to softs, and we were wondering if that was a big brain move, but it turns out to be Jeff coming back from the dead.
It was his call. He thought that maybe it could dry up enough and he could benefit from it because he thought there was no other opportunity to get points.
That's interesting.
It was just him having a hard time, and he thought a wild card strategy could work, and it didn't work out. But that's he's fine. He's content with it.
Yeah, that's just racing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you guys were extremely strong and before the pit lane bug. So I definitely I'm looking forward to see what you guys can do in Hungary.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think me and Gare showed where we stand in the qualifying. The race was a bit different. I obviously had a dry setup on and was struggling a lot more compared to Gares, but as soon as the dry came back, I very quickly took Dutchy and got that podium, so very happy.
Yeah, and you guys definitely seem like the most consistent duo on the grid, so you're definitely in a good shout of winning that winning of that constructors with how consistent you are compared to the rest of the grid.
Possibly. You got the crazy duo in Williams, which is, I believe, Crush and Eckham. Yeah. They were 2 positions just together, but down from us.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like they were sort of in the same area we were. It's just a few places down, and then I imagine they got a bit unlucky in qualifying. You've also got the idea of Haas as well, and Impulse just always being on top.
Yeah.
So that's always something to think about. And if you can't be consistent against that every weekend, it's hard to sort of come out on top.
Yeah,
completely.
And you've also got the Ferrari duo of Val and JKO.
Yes, Val.
Who were your arch rivals from last season, 1 point in it.
Yes, definitely. Val has always been a good competitor. I've gone up against him a couple of times. So, unfortunately, I didn't see him on track today. But yeah, I'm excited to see if I will in the future.
All right then. Well, good luck for Hungary. Look forward to seeing it.
Thank you, mate.
All right, have fun.
You too.
All right, I think we will leave it there for the interviews. It was a good bit of a chaotic race, and hopefully it was a bit of a right stream, especially with all the technical difficulties at the start and the restart. But hopefully we'll see you guys on Monday, 8 p.m. AEST. I believe I have that right.
Yep.
For Academy, and we'll be at the Hungary.
Budapest, I
I'm
believe.
sure you'll see a few people spin, and you'll see me and Bailey spin a lot on Tuesday. You'll see Flukesy spin on Wednesday, and hopefully you probably won't see anyone spin on Thursday. So hopefully we'll see you all there, and good night.
Laters.